Hey guys, here we are, another video, and I hope you guys enjoyed your very long weekend. By the way, I'd like to thank everybody who joined the stream last Sunday. I know it was in the middle of the long weekend, but thank you very much for joining in. And we really did a lot of accounts that time just because of the meta currently. So everybody using the BTS, and everybody has the tools to use the BTS. So it's just use this, and then depends on where you want to use the jellies and all that. So that one was really fun. And now we have an update after the long weekend, and we now have this one. So the episode dungeon, we now have the hard and time attack mode. And since this one would kind of impact familiar arena just because of the toys, let's just point it out. So this one will give you a like a box that will give you a toy. That's for the hard and also for the time attack mode. So this one will also give us toys, but so the difference in rewards will be based on how good you perform. So with this one, I think until level like phase 18, 16 to 18, so a sure 2-star. But when you get to 19 and above, you will get a sure 3-star. So you want to get to that 19. I haven't done this yet, so maybe check back later on if I decide to make a guide on how to get higher rank here. But yeah, this is not the place to talk about this one. But what I'm gonna talk about is currently this one. This is a very tedious event so far, and so this is a very welcome addition. So you can now finish everything without even going to all the ordeal, like the dream gate thingy, right? So entering, it's 20, what is this, watermelon or whatever, and now you can do the same thing, pay the same thing, and just get the rewards without doing anything. So that's a welcome addition. This update, I would keep doing that. Same thing. Yeah, so very welcome addition. And actually, this is very important because of the thing that I want to talk about today, right? And there's two things that I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about Aurora Links later, but we'll start with this one. And actually, I teased about this, I think, 2 weeks ago, right? But now is kind of the time where nobody attacks anymore. Or it would do you better if you don't attack at all, or you attack like only the sure win that you can find in your enemy list. Now, just to show you what I mean, this is my current rank 48. I am at top 100, and I'll show you my battle records. So I attacked just today, 41 minutes ago. I thought it was an easy win, right? So I attacked, but before that, this is all death, right? Death win, death loss, death win, death loss. So basically just a back and forth. All the way to the bottom, it's all death. So I haven't attacked for a very long time, and I am still inside top 100. So really happy about that. And I think it's just because of the current meta. In my opinion, I like how the BTS is affecting the arena. Honestly, I am not using the BTS team because my boar is not good enough. Like, it is only at A7, so I wouldn't be able to pull that off. But technically, everybody, even the free-to-play players, can pull off the BTS team. So you need an A10 Toko with plus 300, A10 Sorbor with plus 300. Shrimp Paler could be at A3 or A4 as long as it has the like full specific toys, right? And you can pull off the combo. As I've mentioned before, the only weakness to that is a Staghorn and a Dinoceras, which could fuck up the positioning. But other than that, it is a really good team to use. And so basically now, even the free-to-play players have a good chance of getting inside the top 100 compared to before. If you're not me, then it is now easier to do that, right? And like, you would still lose against the super whales, but like for the dolphins, they would still have a hard time beating a BTS team just because defensively it is so good. The downside to that, BTS is not so good offensively, and so that's why it is kind of like a good idea to just bait people to attack you and not attack at all, right? Because like defense currently is the best offense. Now, going back to my question about 2 weeks ago, before I went to Bangkok, Is it possible to have an account be an AFK farmer of Asterite, right, and convert that into money? Basically, an account that will give you money without spending a lot of time on it. Okay, I would say yes if you have an A10 Toko, an A10 Sorbor, and at least an A4 Shrimp Paler with specific toys. Yes, as it currently stands, yes. And this is a very good news for the free-to-play players because it really doesn't take much to get an A10 Toko, an A10 Sorbor, an A4 Shrimp Paler, right? Even free-to-players will have, like, a lot of free-to-play players has that. And so that is a huge win for free-to-play players. Kind of an L to, like, those who spend a lot of money in order to just be in the top 100, right? Because apparently all we need is to buff up Shrimp Paler by a lot, and we have now created a new meta which dominates in the familiar arena, and it only consists of familiars that are free-to-play friendly. Right, so that is a huge win for free-to-play players. And again, just to point out, I am not even using the BTS team here, but technically, if I switch out my Suryu with an A10 Sorbor with plus 300, this would do much better. I'd probably be in the top 30 by now, but I don't. And so, just saying, even if you are doing just defense, it's very much possible to get into the top 100. Alright, now we'll talk about Auroralynx. Although having heard what I just said earlier, you probably get the idea that Auroralynx is kind of a waste of money. I'm just kidding, but it kind of is. Anyway, so it took a lot of time because I didn't want to review Auroralynx right when it came out because we're basically just reviewing an A1, an A2, an A3 Auroralynx. So not very good. We want to push further, have people get more copies, and then evaluate how well it performs. Just a quick review of the skill. So deals, this is an A9, deals 90.9 of attack per hit as AoE damage to enemies, stuns for 1.5 seconds, causes flash for 8 seconds. Right, so I think the attack is 4. Right, so this is times 4, basically 270, 360. All right, so as it currently stands, 360 of attack all in all, and then there's flash for 8 seconds. Flash is 100% of damage, so in total this will give him 460 percent of attack as damage all in all. And then there's a bonus stun here, right? So let's look at some videos. So our side going against Imwavami, right? In theory, this is my weakness. So he has an Ebontorex and a Staghorn. Using a 4 range type and 1 melee, Staghorn is terrible for me, right? But yeah, let's see what happens. He's using an Auroralynx, by the way. Right, so Ebon will push Bird, and then so Staghorn will push whoever is here. He's probably gonna be pulling 3 of them, right? So that's gonna happen, right? So this is the skill of my Hippocampus, like that one. And Auroralynx has used his skill already, but it takes some time. So this is the one, the music thingy, right? No, so that's the one. He is only attacking Bird as of the moment, right? So only Bird will get hit, right? And that's too bad. Like, because as I've established before, the skill of Auroralynx, like the radius is not so good. Like looking at his lineup in the past when Auroralynx was not there yet, Hippocampus would have been here, and if he was using Hippocampus, he will hit all of this one, like whatever is pulled by Staghorn. That would have been the case because at least with Hippocampus, his radius would be big enough to hit a lot of familiars, but with Auroralynx, not so good, right? So there we go. That's what happened. And then, yeah, that gave me a huge advantage, right? Auroralynx is dealing normal hits on every familiar except dark types, and I don't have a dark type here, so just put that into the caveat section, right? I don't have a dark type, so maybe that's why Auroralynx didn't do so well. But and plus he wasn't able to hit whoever is pulled by a staghorn. But you know, just saying, if he was using a hippocampus instead, it would have been better. And so like, I'll give my full overview later on, but just to point out, he didn't really need a Auroralynx here. He could have used a staghorn or like a hippocampus, and that would have been better for him, at least in this battle, right? Let's check out the stats. I pointed it out here. So just to show you, the Auroralynx here is at A8. So that is strong, right? That is higher awakening compared to my hippocampus. My hippocampus is only at A6, yet I won that. So his CP is higher than mine, right? So I think this is also like based on the synergy on your team. And honestly, there really is not a lot of synergy with Auroralynx. Unlike Hippocampus, he is not a combo starter. Like, he doesn't change anyone's positioning. He is good to be, you know, a combo finisher, right? Because his skill is one of those who is casted the last one. So maybe he could be paired together with a Hippocampus, and then, you know, whatever is gathered by Hippocampus, Auroralynx will finish them off. But anyway, let's look at more videos. Alright, here I am on defense. Just to point out early on, his team is not really well made. Not much synergy here. Auroralynx could have a synergy with Ebontorex, but other than that, not really. Sorbor, meh. So yeah, you know what would happen here, right? But this is, I'm showing you this because his Auroralynx is really strong. I think it's A8, right? So, or A9. Yeah, I don't know. So Auroralynx already finished cooldown, and he will attack for some reason Toko. And so at least his radius is big enough that if all ranged are together, they will all be hit. I think my Shrimpaler will be hit. My Hippocampus will be hit together with Toko. So at least in that regard, the radius is big enough, right? But like my Hippocampus was able to use his skill already, so that's why he wasn't cancelled. So that is just to point out that Auroralynx would be a good finisher in a combo, not a combo starter. All right, so that's what happened there. This will be a win. Not much suspense when it comes to this, I think. So yeah, again, I checked the stats here. He did really good damage, honestly. So it is at A7, not at A8. So yeah, weaker than earlier. But yeah, so this is just to point out that this is not much of a game changer. Alright, so the last video, we have Ignatius on the defensive end going against RPG Crazy. And this, I can tell you, is where Auroralynx can be useful. Let's watch it. Alright, so Ebontorex from the other team will be pushing teams. Alright, so there we go. Look at that. Ebontorex is easily killed with all four. Usually, but just to point out, usually that's not the case. But since he has an Auroralynx doing double damage against a dark type Ebontorex, he really made easy work on that. So I can say prematurely that, you know, Auroralynx can be useful in that regard, right? And eventually here, his Ebontorex will die. But alright, so here in this type of lineup, usually Auroralynx will be replaced either by Shrimpaler or a Suryu. So since I have two Earth types, Suryu wouldn't do well, but Shrimpaler could have done better than Auroralynx. But you know, at least Auroralynx was able to dismantle my Ebontorex early on, which made the battle kind of easy because I have no longer a tank. But you know, in terms of like which replacement could have been made, Suryu is a free-to-play, you know, familiar. Also Shrimpaler. And anyway, just to point out the possible replacements for Auroralynx in this type of lineup. right? Molten Lion is really doing good damage there. Auroralynx was able to kill. Really good damage as well. Shrimp Paler, as you can see, 1/4 of health by this guy, Hippocampus. So that's why I said Hippocampus is, in my opinion, much more valuable than Auroralynx, especially with the current meta, which is the BTS. Because with the BTS, it's really hard to break down Sorbor. And so if you have a Hippocampus that could do something like this, like, check that out. So Shrimp Paler is way at the back, and then Toko is right here in the middle. If you have a Hippocampus to at least pull Shrimp Paler a little bit in front so that he could die, like if this is a Sorbor in theory, and then this is a Toko, at least Shrimp Paler would share some damage with a Sorbor. And so if Shrimp Paler dies before Sorbor, that would basically, you know, break the BTS combo. And so in current meta, and with how their skill works, Sorbor, Hippocampus is much more valuable than Auroralynx. Right, so yeah, look at that, 1/4. Anyway, this is gonna be a win for him. Just to check out the stats. Oh, look at that. His CP is way higher than mine. His Auroralynx is only at A6, right? His Hippocampus is at A4, right? So, but how much damage did they do? Auroralynx still did more damage. Okay. But the MVP there is Molten Lion. I mean, rightly so. Was really good defensively, and with me having 2 Earth types, yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. So to sum up, with that last battle as well, I would say even if he wasn't using Auroralynx, since he is higher CP than me, it could have been just a Shrimp Paler or a Suryu. My Ebontorix would die fast anyway. And then with a Suryu having 2 Earth types, maybe he wouldn't be ideal, but maybe a Shrimp Paler would have done better if going against 2 Earth types. So all in all, what I'm saying is Auroralynx is good, but in my opinion, if looking at all my battles, Auroralynx doesn't really change things a lot, right? If you used a Auroralynx instead of a Suryu or a Hippocampus, like if you replace Hippocampus with a Auroralynx, you would probably lose more, especially with the current meta. If you replace Suryu, however, with a Auroralynx, then maybe you would win like 5% more or 10% more, right? And with the amount of money that you will need in order to get like an A7, A6, A8 from based on the videos that we've seen, would that push to 10% win rate, like 10% higher win rate, worth it? I don't think so. I don't know. You be the judge, right? So yeah, he is good. Auroralynx is good, but in my opinion, not worth it. At least currently in the meta. Let's see later on when Relics comes out, maybe Auroralynx would, be much more usable, right? Because with that, like we've seen how good he is doing against a dark type like an Ebontorix. Because of course, if someone is using a Relics, they would likely use more dark types in their lineup, and so having a Auroralynx there to counter all that, then Auroralynx is a must. But as it currently stands, no, I don't think he is worth it. And as I've pointed out earlier, you don't really need to spend a lot of money in this game in order to make some money back. Okay, so yeah, Auroralynx, based on how much it is worth to get a High Awakening, I don't think it's worth it. Again, don't get me wrong, he is good, but not worth it. All right, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it helped you save or make some money in the future as well. All right, so thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.